What to do in case of a kitchen fire. Don't panic. Stay calm and think clearly. Act quickly to prevent the fire from spreading if possible. Remember your preparation and practice, then stay focused and make quick decisions when every second counts. Turn off the heat. If safe to do so, turn off the stove or oven to cut the power supply to the fire. Cover the flames. For small fires, if a fire occurs, it must be extinguished while it's still small, which means before it reaches the ceiling. Early suppression is possible if the fire hasn't spread to the ceiling, but once it does, evacuate immediately and leave it to the fire department. In wooden houses, fires can spread to walls, doors, and curtains very fast. It'll take approximately 2.5 minutes for a fire to reach the ceiling. While quick action is necessary, don't chase the fire aggressively. Once it reaches the ceiling, it's time to escape. Grease fire. If a fire starts in a pan, cover it with a metal lid or a wet cloth to cut off the oxygen supply and help put out the fire. Never pour water on a grease fire, as it will cause the fire to splatter and spread rapidly. Instead, use a fire extinguisher rated for grease fires, or you can use baking soda or salt to smother the flames. If your clothes catch fire. If your clothes catch fire, do not run. Running will increase the airflow, making the flames spread faster. To stop the fire from getting worse, stay calm and stop where you are. Then, drop to the ground and press the burning areas against the ground, making sure to minimize the gap between your body and the ground. While lying on the ground, roll from side to suffocate the flames. Protect your face by covering it with your hands to prevent burns. So, if your clothes catch fire, remember to stop, drop to the ground, and roll to quickly smother the flames. Don't try to re-enter the kitchen. Once you've evacuated, do not go back into the house to retrieve anything. Let the fire department handle the situation. As time passes, the fire spreads, making the inside of the house even more dangerous than before you escaped. Fire prevention in the kitchen. Stay present while cooking. Never leave the kitchen unattended when cooking, especially when using the stove or deep frying. If you need to step away, turn off the stove or set a timer to remind yourself to check the food. This helps prevent food from burning and reduces the chance of a fire. Keep flammable items away from the stove or heat sources, such as paper towels, dishcloths, and oven mitts. These can easily catch fire, and also be cautious of your clothes catching fire too. Clean grease and check for faulty wiring. Grease buildup on stove tops, ovens, and vents can be a serious fire hazard. Clean surfaces regularly to prevent grease from accumulating. Ensure that kitchen appliances and electrical cords are in good condition. Replace any frayed or damaged cords, and avoid overloading outlets. Install and maintain a smoke alarm. Make sure a smoke detector is installed near the kitchen and test it regularly. A working smoke alarm can give you an early warning in case a fire starts. Check electrical cords regularly. Inspect electrical cords for damage and replace them if frayed or worn out. Ensure plugs are fully inserted into outlets. Avoid placing cables under furniture or other objects, and never overload outlets or extension cords. Make it a habit to turn off and unplug electrical devices when not in use. Clean around the outlets regularly. Clean around the outlets and wiring areas regularly, as dust that accumulates in the gap between outlets and power plugs can absorb moisture from the air, gradually becoming conductive, and potentially cause a short circuit or fire. In the event of an electrical fire, never pour water on an electrical fire without cutting off the power first, as it can lead to electrocution. Use a fire extinguisher designed for electrical fires. Start by turning off the circuit breaker and unplug the device from the outlet, but be careful not to burn yourself. If no fire extinguisher is available, it's safe to use water once the power is completely off. There are various causes of electrical fires, but as long as electricity is being used, electrical fires can occur. They may even happen when no one is home. Electrical fires are unpredictable. Although electricity is invisible, it carries a significant amount of energy. It's important to review the proper usage of electrical devices you use daily to ensure the safety of yourself and your family. Close the bedroom door while you sleep. When a fire breaks out, toxic gases such as carbon monoxide are produced. Inhaling these gases can not only impair your ability to move, but it can also be fatal. By closing the bedroom door while you sleep, you can reduce the flow of smoke into the room. Plan an escape route. Make sure everyone in the home has a clear evacuation plan for every room with at least 2 ways to exit, and practice it regularly. Keep escape routes free of obstacles. Ensure windows and doors are easy to open, and have fire ladders for upper floors if needed. Install smoke detectors. More than half of fire-related deaths are caused by delayed escape. Make sure to place smoke alarms in every room, especially bedrooms, hallways, and near high-risk areas like the kitchen. They will give you the early warning needed to act quickly, whether for extinguishing a small fire or safely evacuating. Evacuate if necessary. If the fire is uncontrollable, evacuate immediately. Close the door behind you to contain the fire. Shout loudly to alert your neighbors and make sure to call emergency services from a safe location. Do not go back into the house as there is a risk of reignition. Move low to the ground. Smoke rises, so if the room is filled with smoke, get low to the ground where the air is clearer. Try to stay as low as possible. Crawl if necessary to avoid inhaling smoke, as fire smoke contains carbon monoxide, which can cause loss of consciousness. Use a cloth for breathing. To avoid inhaling smoke, cover your nose and mouth with a towel or any fabric around you, such as the cuffs of your clothes, jacket, or hat as you evacuate. Make sure to keep them covered the entire time to filter out some of the smoke and toxic gases while you make your escape. Inhaling even a bit of the dense smoke makes it difficult to breathe. Use the stairs. Never use the elevator during a fire as it can become trapped or malfunction. Fires spread rapidly. If smoke fills the elevator, it'll be impossible to breathe, and if it stops midway, you will lose your escape route. The initial decision you make could determine your survival. Touch the wall. If smoke obstructs your vision, use the wall to guide yourself. Find the emergency exit lights as a guide and move toward the light. Check doors for heat. If there is a fire, lightly touch the doorknob with the back of your hand to avoid your hand to get burned. If the doorknob isn't hot, it means fire hasn't reached the other side of the door yet, so you can slowly open it. Once you open the door, smoke may enter, so even then, keep low to the ground and use a cloth, towel, or piece of clothing, anything nearby to cover your nose and mouth to avoid inhaling smoke. If the doorknob is hot, it means fire has already reached the other side of the door. Furthermore, opening the door would cause toxic smoke to flood into the room, which is extremely dangerous. In this case, you should escape through another door or window, move low to the ground, cover your nose and mouth, and avoid the fire source on your escape route. Head straight for the nearest emergency exit, or if there's a window, use the escape ladder to exit the building. What if you can't escape? If there is a window but it's too high to escape from? First, make sure to close the door to limit smoke from entering, seal the door gap with clothing or cloth if possible to buy time until help arrives. Then, open the window and signal for help from people outside. By waving large fabrics or cloth outside the window, you'll increase the chance of being spotted by the fire department and rescuers.